I will have the opportunity to submit him in the fights, of course I will go for it. But to be honest, it's not in my game plan to go for the submission. My game plan is to stay there, to take his head off, and if he wants to go to the ground and pull to his guard, I will go with him. I don't have any problem to going with him to the ground. So he's taller than me, but who cares? Once I want to close the distance, he's gonna end up in the floor with his lights out, and that's all important about the story.
ILIA TOPURIA has just revealed his game plan ahead of his anticipated fight with Charles Oliveira. ILIA TOPURIA is fully focused on becoming champion. He does not care if the opponent is Islam, Charles, Arman, or someone else. His goal is the belt, not the opponent. From the start, he has made it clear he will not accept fights that do not lead to the title. If there is no belt involved, he is not interested. His mindset shows his full commitment to reaching the top.
I wanted to fight for the world title, and this is what I'm doing. If it's against Islam, against Charles, against Arman, whoever, this is what I wanted. I didn't have had any specific name in my head, like I'm fighting this guy or I'm not fighting. The only thing I had in my mind is like I'm fighting for the world title or I'm not fighting.
ILIA TOPURIA respects Charles Oliveira's record but stays confident. He has seen similar hype before, like with Max Holloway. TOPURIA believes his skill level is above anything they faced. He says his technique and growth are unmatched. To him, Charles might feel ready, but TOPURIA plans to take control as soon as the fight begins.
You can't never count him out because he's a dangerous guy. He has the most finishes in the UFC history. But I don't know. I have faced those kind of situations many times with Volk, with Max Holloway. They were like, I'm beating, like no one could beat them, no one can knock them out. And they always had this thing in the mind like, oh, I faced this guy and this one and that, and no one could knock me out. But you never faced me. You never faced someone that skillful like me. This is what I'm saying since a long time ago. The skill development I'm bringing in the sport, they never felt it. They never saw it. So this is what's going to happen with Charles. He thinks that he has some opportunities, but the reality is that he has not.
Moreover, ILIA TOPURIA confidently predicts a first-round knockout against Charles Oliveira. He says most fighters move sideways to stay away, which delays his attack. But Charles comes forward, and that plays into ILIA's plan. He believes Charles will walk straight into his punches. Once they're close, ILIA expects to land clean shots and finish the fight fast.
I'm going to finish him in the first round.
You say that to me like I say I'm going to get a coffee.
Yeah, because he walks forward. This is all I need. Like the time that takes me always to knock out my opponents is the time that takes me to close the distance, because they run away. They run, they move to side, and once I close the distance and I go with my combinations, I knock them out. But with Charles, I'm not gonna need to close the distance because he walks forward, and this is all I need to take his lights out. Like, just try to stay in the middle of the octagon. Just try to do that, and you are not gonna see me coming.
However, ILIA TOPURIA sent a clear message before facing Charles Oliveira. He stated that Oliveira's height gives him no advantage. According to TOPURIA, once he moves in close, the fight will end with Oliveira knocked unconscious on the canvas. That's the only outcome he sees.
He's taller than me, but who cares? Once I want to close the distance, he's gonna end up in the floor with his lights out, and that's all important about the story.
TOPURIA added that while he has the ability to submit Oliveira, that's not his primary goal. His main focus is to keep the fight standing and go for the knockout. Still, if Oliveira tries to pull him into a grappling exchange, TOPURIA won't hesitate to engage on the ground. He feels fully prepared to dominate no matter where the action takes place.
I will have the opportunity to submit him in the fights. Of course, I will go for it. But to be honest, it's not in my game plan to go for the submission. My game plan is to stay there, to take his head off, And if he wants to go to the ground and pull to his guard, I will go with him. I don't have any problem to going with him to the ground. So I could submit him. I can knock him out. Whatever I want, I can do with him.
Topuria also acknowledged Oliveira's record for the most finishes in UFC history, but dismissed it, saying none of those victories were against someone like him. He's confident he surpasses Oliveira in every category. Once the bout starts, Topuria believes Oliveira will immediately feel a level of pressure, speed, and precision, unlike anything he's ever experienced.
I know that he has the most finishes in the UFC history, but as I said, I feel that I'm much better than him everywhere. He fought with guys that none of them are named ILIA Topuria. He never faced that matador. He's gonna feel something completely different that he felt in the past with any opponents he had. And he's gonna feel that since the first second of the fight. Something completely different. The power, the speed, the fight IQ, the technique, everything he's gonna feel, it's gonna be different.
Jorge Masvidal is backing ILIA Topuria to defeat Charles Oliveira. He admits Charles brings size, dangerous kicks, elbows, knees, and elite jiu-jitsu, but says Topuria is operating on a different level. Masvidal believes Topuria has something rare and expects him to leave with the lightweight title.
Charles is bigger. Charles has kicks, knees, elbows, great jiu-jitsu, but Ilya is just different, brother. This guy is special. And I think he's going to be a world champion at 155. He's going to beat Charles, man.
Alexander Volkanovski also gave his take, predicting a fast-paced fight from the start. He expects an early finish and is picking Topuria to win. Volkanovski plans to be in Las Vegas for the event and is eager to watch Topuria claim the belt.
In the main event, I'm going to go another finish. I think this is going to be fireworks from the start, but I think it finishes early, and I'm leaning towards ILIA Topuria. I think ILIA Topuria is going to be the new lightweight champion, which is going to be absolutely crazy. So it's going to be crazy scenes there in Vegas. I'll be there to watch it. Cannot wait.
Curtis Blaydes is picking Charles Oliveira to win. He believes Oliveira's striking and ground game will be more than Topuria can handle. Blaydes noted that while Topuria has looked great, he has not faced a grappler like Oliveira. He also mentioned that since Oliveira will not fear takedowns, he can focus fully on striking. Blaydes predicts Oliveira could finish the fight in the third round.
I'm going to go Oliveira just because I believe he has the hands and the grappling. He presents more issues than I think any of Ilya's past opponents. He's had a great run, but he hasn't faced a grappler who's as dangerous as Oliveira. And I just think Oliveira being able to pressure and to pretty much not have to worry about takedowns will open up his hands more. And I think he'll be able to stop him on the feet, maybe third round.
Renato Moicano sees the Topuria versus Oliveira fight as more competitive than expected. He dismissed claims that Topuria would win easily, calling Charles very durable. Moicano noted the weight jump makes it tough for both. Though he first leaned toward Topuria, his support shifted after speaking with Charles on a podcast. He is now picking Oliveira, partly out of national pride.
You're fighting on the Charles Oliveira versus ILIA Topuria card. Charles is a big underdog. How do you see that fight going?
Man, that's a tougher matchup that a lot of people think. They think Topuria gonna run through Charles. You never count Charles Oliveira out. I think he's very tough. But Topuria is good, you know? He's 145. It's going to be a tough fight for both fighters. I don't have an opinion on that. I was leaning more to Topuria, but today I just had a podcast with Charles on my Brazilian channel. It's just very hard to not like the guy. That makes harder, you know, to pick against him. So I'm going with Charles just because he's Brazilian.
Khamzat Chimaev praised ILIA Topuria's rise. He remembered training with him at All Stars Gym before Topuria was well known. Even then, Chimaev saw his talent and drive. He said Topuria competed at a high level early on and was always focused. Now, he believes Topuria is close to reaching the top of the sport.
Очень известный сейчас боец. Ты с ним вроде как давно знаком. Он тренировался в Альстаре вместе, вот до еще его всей известности. Когда вот тренировки ты его видел, ты видел этот потенциал в будущее?
Ну, конечно, просто тогда, в то время, этот был он хорошим топовым бойцом в Брейве, как и я, мы оба там выступали. Видно было, потому что он такой пахарь и хочет добиться чего-то в своей жизни. И парень добился всех высот, которые можно в этом спорте добиться.